The PSN is running its spring sale right now, and there are a ton of good deals available. However, I'm going to be limiting myself to games under the price of $10 in today's videos, so we're only going to be looking at 7 games. However, I think these 7 deals are rather good, so without further ado, 7 great PlayStation 4 game deals available on PSN right now for under 10 bucks. Let's get right into it, and I want to kick things off with a Borderlands Game of the Year edition. That is 67% off for $9.89. This dropped in price relatively quickly. I mean, it is a year old at this point, and it's the remaster of a game that came out all the way back in 2009, but if you want to go back and play through Borderlands 1, I actually think it's a better game than Borderlands 3, although Borderlands 3 being the newer game, if you objectively assess both games, maybe Borderlands 3 is better. Whatever the case may be, you're not getting Borderlands 3 for under $10. Borderlands 1 you can, and I know this is a game a lot of you guys did miss out on given the fact that it is such an older game. However, the Game of the Year edition, this version, does remedy a lot of things. I mean, Borderlands 1 was already a really good game, but it adds some improvements that definitely does increase the experience as well, and it retains that general Borderlands gameplay you know and love, loot and shoot, and a lot of great content in this one as well. Haven't been a big fan of what 2K's been doing and all the rumblings about that, but still wanted to give this a mention as at $9.89, it is a pretty good deal. Next up, we have Axiom Verge, which is $9.99. Now, this was a game that did release all the way back in 2015, so you might be of the mindset, hey, should this game be a little bit cheaper? It's 50% off, but should it be down to $4.99? And whatever, you can make that argument. I'm as cheap as they come. However, Axiom Verge is one of those games that absolutely warrants its $9.99 price point. Yes, it looks old school at the surface, and it is an old school game, but it also has an art style that I feel like is so captivating even now in 2020, 5 years after its original release. And if you're a fan of Metroidvanias, if you're a fan of challenging games, this is going to be right up your alley. Of course, Axiom Verge 2 is in development right now. We know that it'll be coming to the Nintendo Switch. If it comes to other platforms, which I imagine at some point it will, that's going to be a very exciting release. But right now, Axiom Verge for $9.99. If you never checked it out and you're a fan of challenging games, a fan of Metroidvanias, Castlevania style titles, this one is going to be one that you really enjoy. Alright, here's one I might get a little bit of backlash for even mentioning, but I want to give a shout to Killzone Shadowfall. That is 70% off for $5.99. Now, Killzone Shadowfall to me was a colossal disappointment for a variety of reasons. I was such a big fan of Killzone 2 and Killzone 3. I put an obscene amount of time into Killzone 2 over the summer of 2009. Youngster me, off from school, getting home and playing Killzone 2 until 4 a.m. every night. Those are some memories I'm never gonna forget. I also really enjoyed Killzone 3. However, Killzone Shadowfall, while it was my easiest, most anticipated PlayStation 4 launch title, and I think that was the case for the majority of people, Killzone Shadowfall just had some issues with its multiplayer content. I do think the single player was really, really interesting, and I found that portion of the game to be incredibly captivating. The game is set 30 years after the events of Killzone 3, and the world is a vastly different place with 2 rival factions, the Helghast and the Vectans, living side by side in a futuristic city. Of course, the visuals in this game are absolutely breathtaking, and the campaign does have some fun. Look, if you were going to pay $59.99 for this game, I wouldn't say it's worth a buy, but it's much like Order 1886 in my opinion, where at $5.99, I do think it's a game that's interesting to go back and play, and I do think Killzone has a lot of legs to it, and I would love to see the franchise make a comeback at some point. Hey, even Killzone 2 and 3 HD collection, or it's not even an HD collection at this point, Killzone 2 and 3, a better version collection, I don't know what you want to call it, Guerrilla can figure that one out, but if you let me go back into Killzone 2, that is something that I would absolutely love even in 2020. At this point, Shadowfall for $5.99, not a bad buy here. Alright, next up we have Luminous Remaster. That is 50% off for $7.49. So, this is a game that originally released on the PlayStation Portable, and it was a very good game, and I have to say, it was incredibly addicting. That's what I remember about Luminous on the PSP. It was just a very addictive experience, and Luminous Remaster brings minimalism to the puzzle genre where the fusion of light and sound sets the stage for a 2-color falling block experience in HD and 4K, groove to electronic jams while strategically dropping blocks before the BPM bar, sweeps combos clean after each measure, feel the sound, play over 40 skins with electronic atmospheres from chill to upbeat, shuffle skins like a music playlist as more are unlocked in a new shuffle mode, feel the challenge. Faster tempos means less time to make combos, but slower songs can mean uncleared stacks. You'll get hooked, and you can feel the fun. Take the challenge to unlock all skins and avatars. You can play friends in a local versus 2-player multiplayer mode, or climb up the ranks in the online leaderboards. Game is available for $7.49, originally released at $14.99, but definitely worth a buy if you are a puzzle fan. Next up, another 2K release, Mafia 3 is 75% off for $9.99. There's been some rumblings with Mafia coming back, Mafia 4 possibly being in development, Mafia 2 Remaster, which is looking likely to happen, but Mafia 3 came out back in 2016, and I often say that this was a relatively disappointing game. Now, yeah, me mentioning all these games are disappointing probably isn't enticing you to buy these games, but guess what? It's disappointing in the sense that my expectations sometimes are obscenely high, and a game is released at $59.99. At $9.99, Mafia 3 is a whole different story. I think with a couple of tweaks and refinements, Mafia 3 could be a really good game, and there were some rumblings about a definitive edition of this game, so that would be rather interesting if that came to fruition. I think there's a lot of potential here. I think Mafia is a franchise that still has quite a bit of legs to it, and Mafia 3 was a good game. It had some strong elements like the voice acting, the setting was good, gameplay elements got a little bit repetitive, but at $10 I do think it's a pretty good buy. Next up, we have Metal Gear Solid 5, the definitive experience. I did an entire video covering this game and looking back on the release of MGS5, but in short, Metal Gear Solid 5 is going to be one of the most iconic games of this generation because of everything surrounding it, and at the end of the day, it's Metal Gear, and it's the last traditional Metal Gear game that was released. Yeah, we don't like to talk about Metal Gear Survive over here, but Metal Gear Solid 5, the definitive experience, offered you Metal Gear Ground Zero and Metal Gear Solid 5 along with a plethora of DLC content, and for $6, that is a ridiculous deal. If you've never played Metal Gear, this is actually a good one to play because the story is told in such a different way through the use of cassette tapes, which still offers a very compelling narrative experience, and I think the gameplay is some of the strongest MGS gameplay that you're going to come across. The open world did the game a lot of good, and I thought the open world and the stealth gameplay that Metal Gear is known for complemented each other, so that element was really good. At $6, it's a no-brainer. Definitely check that out. And lastly, do want to give a shout to Bully from Rockstar. This is 40% off for $8.99. Look, the meme of Bully 2 actually ever happening is never gonna die. I don't think it's going to happen at this point. I've kind of lost all faith, but hey, I have a glimmer of hope beating in me that Bully 2 will come to fruition. Why did I enjoy Bully so much? Well, it was such a wacky game, and obviously Rockstar is known for more mature titles like a Red Dead Redemption or a Grand Theft Auto, but Bully offered you that high school setting that still offered original gameplay and tongue-in-cheek storytelling, and that was one of the most enjoyable elements of the game, it being tongue-in-cheek, and yes, at times it's a little bit over the top. Maybe it's not the most relatable experience to a lot of you guys, but that over-the-top quirkiness I feel like adds another layer to Bully, and it's a game I really hope Rockstar will revisit someday. But for now, Bully, if you never checked it out, it was originally a PS2 game, available as a PS2 on PS4 game for $8.99, not a bad buy. Here, the other Grand Theft Auto games, the older ones, are also on sale. They're $8.99 a pop, but you can get the trilogy for like $18, so if you need to pick up all 3 games, that's probably the route to go. And that's going to conclude this video. Again, there are a bunch of good deals available as a part of the spring sale. I believe it is going to get a refresh tomorrow, and more deals are going to be added, so we'll definitely be covering that. But that's going to conclude this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.